Right, hello. This is the branch vlog for 0.2.4.0 to do with NPC textures, a bit of background to set the scene. Initially, I had created idols, but very quickly, like I'll call them like version 2 quality idols that I just made because I was like, okay, I've got 23 NPCs, make the idols, done. And they didn't look to this degree of quality. This is like version 3 now. The branch has been upgrading those, so these idols were they're all stood still. But then creating walks, creating runs for some of them, creating aims for some of them, and shoots for some of them. You might be thinking, why is it not moving? it's it's a bit of a trick, you see, because the aim is like that. And if you look at shoulders. Oh well, I guess it's more obvious on the on Sarah, like the gun goes up, but on the ones where the gun doesn't go up, the shoulders just go back like that. Well, like that. So yeah, so I've just done the sprites. So that's what this branch has been about. But before I explain it all and go into a bit more detail, I'll highlight each one and work through it. So the bugs, as you know, the bugs go to the top. That's why it breaks the number order. Anything which is essentially like under 900 is under 700 is likely something that I forgot to mark off all these like 105. So we're talking 2 years ago. Um, I haven't really got anything to show you anymore because I've taken the normal maps off until like the polished game release, getting ready for game release version. But what was happening was um, the normal maps were colored in a way where when it overlaid with the texture, so like the diffuse maps, it gave like dark spots. So it was the normal maps issue. Um, this one, issue with death sprites for enemies not falling forward. Yeah, um, it was my own doing. It's to do with, let me explain. I don't have a visual example, but I can explain what I mean through Photoshop. So if you just give me a second, please. Right, here we go. Okay, so oh, it's a bit bright. Let me put the, there we go. Let me take the thing off. So, what I mean by them weren't falling forward is I was thinking, oh well, I'll do them like stood up and then on the knees, but in this position, and then in the same spot in the box, and then on the floor in the same spot in the box. And no, that kind of does it like that. It kind of turns them into like a clock. So what I needed to do with the enemies was I kind of need to. This is only a template thing. Normally, let me get the Sarah. Normally, I have it where their eye is aligned like that. But yeah, so if I turn them, but I keep them in the spot, they're like stood on the knees, falling over. They work like a clock where there's a center pivot, like there's a pivot center, isn't there? And then the hands just go around. So what I needed to do was, in a bad example, is stood up on the knees on the floor, and then I just don't save that. That gives the illusion of them falling forward because then they go stood up on the knees, stood up on the knees, falling down. See? Um, that was the easiest way to do it. But I believe that's what it was about. It was a very long time ago. Like I was 34 then. Right, realign sprites to the center. You know what I showed you where I said like I put the eye aligned with it? Well, If you don't put the eye align with it, or you put one like they were, and then one with the eye aligned, then when you do the flipbooks, they're going to be like that. They're going to be bouncing around. So it's just making sure everything's in the exact same spot. A bit like the clock idea, where the clock stays in the same and the hands go around. You want that. The sprites stay in the same spot, but the sprites change um, for better flipbooks. Blast through all these old ones because we're up to 1500 now. This is 1500 is what this branch is about. Create thumbnails and sprites for I still called it Stamkit then. Um, right, so what I mean by that is no, not custom thumbnail. I didn't know you could do that. Oh, I'm looking at the favorites. That's why. We want assets because these are the pictures. We want items. We want collect. All collect. Get flipbooks off. Raw. So what I meant by that was this. So I didn't. Where is it? Create thumbnails of. Yeah, yeah. So I create the items, but I was like, oh, how do I do the thumbnails? This is so old. We're talking like version 2. So they weren't even 140 by 140 pixels. They were 70 by 70 pixels. These are 140 by 140. Granted, I haven't really given them. Well, there's a bit of detail, but there's not loads. And then there's like I've done normal map. Oh my god, Unreal ruins the normal maps. Trust me that the normal maps do look good. They're just not Unreal. They don't look good when Unreal tries to show it. But yeah, that one I'm showing now, highlighted, is so old. Everyone was 70 by 70 pixels. If you want to know what that looked like, here we go. Let me find you a nice example. Protagonist version 2. That. So old, that 188 task, everyone looked like that. Well, I say everyone. There was enemies and there was my main character. Um, yeah, then version 3, now 3.3, where we've got the multi-directional sequences. That's that one. Let's get through these so I can get to the main thing for you. Tweak regen items. Uh, yeah, same thing again, actually. I'll show you very quickly. I was having an issue with like okay, so these are like health. If I explain it, because I realised I haven't explained it, stamina, health, infection, stress. I know you don't get stress medical kits, do you? But a placeholder. It's like a pre-polish placeholder. I could swap it. But then I was like, oh well, what about like regeneration? And I thought, oh well, why don't I do like pills? So color coded. No, they're like that, and then you stick a normal map on it, and then it gives it like depth. It looks nice. And then they're to boost your stats, like like add 10 to the max. These are to boost the regeneration of your stats. So what I was talking about, I needed to make it stand out more. Yeah, the colors didn't really. I don't like using the word because I sound like some sort of like hipster. The colors didn't pop, didn't stand out. You probably It probably doesn't stand out too good on this video because it's recorded in SDR, so like non-HDR. But I've got like a relatively decent HDR monitor. So that combined with the normal maps really makes the colors like stand out. Which here you can, oh, it's green. But when it's that big, I know it's all checkered, it's really hard to look at. But when it's that big in the game world, it doesn't stand out. Last one before we get to the good stuff. Create barrier version 2. Oh my god. I, I don't know why. You'd be surprised. I've had so many tasks to do with barriers. I must have done about 5 tasks. Don't know what I was thinking. Like, yeah, barriers used to look like this. And then the big barrier. Normal maps you see. See, it's normal map because it's dark underneath. If I do like Alt 3, that's how it normally looks. Unlit, if you look at top left, unlit. Alt 4, lit. 5, detail lighting. I don't really use detail lighting, but I should do, to be honest. But you could see where the normal map changes. If you wonder where the normal map is, it's there. It can automatically relate them when you extract the sprites, which is pretty cool. So that's version 1. Version 2, like this. So version 1 looked alright, to be fair, didn't it? And then this is version 2. So that's unlit, that's lit, that's detail. That, I just never knocked it off. Right, why we're actually here. Branch. Talk sprites. So, I haven't shown them here because running out of real estate. I've already expanded it like 4 times. But talk sprites. Um, sorry. Brain slow. Um, let's pick Barry. Not these ones because these are old. We're on 3.3. See, I haven't done a flipbook for it yet, so they're still in the raw. Zoom in. So we've got like idle. Idle is the second stage where it's like a blink. Idle where his eyes like you know when you look at people like talk. I know the jaw's crazy. I haven't really updated the face to be honest. And then we've got talk with the eyes like So there's that bit. So I had to do talk sprites at this level. I've also got like talking heads where a bit like Metal Gear Solid where like you know the heads pop up, the avatars, and they talk to each other. I've got that, but that's to show at 1503, and I refuse to go out of order for like the third branch in a row. So I did that for all NPCs. Yeah, I don't know if I've done it for Protagonist. I did do it at one point. I must have it somewhere, but even if I don't, I can just copy and paste it and do the mouth open. So I don't know if I've done it for 3.3 Protagonist. Upgrade all sprite sheets. Yeah, let me show you. Let's get the template up. So as you can see, it's gone through like 70 by 70 pixels, 140 by 140 pixels. Originally, it was 30 by 35 by 35, so it's like times 2. Like, I guess you'd say like power of 2. Or I probably got the math lingo wrong, but you know what I mean, times 2. So now, we have right uninjured, left uninjured. You know, on the Protagonist, I have right uninjured, left uninjured, up uninjured. So it's like a triangle, like 3. So you're moving up sprites, left sprites, right sprites. Rather than mirroring the right to the left, which sounds like it works, except from that would be in the wrong position. That would be on the wrong position. If they had a scar on one eye, which Richard does, that would be on the wrong position. See where I'm coming from? So mirror. It's like looking in a mirror. The mirror is not your true self. The mirror is a reflection of like a negative or something. It's not like a true. It's not like what people see. So I've got that. So there's right uninjured, left uninjured. So multi-directional in terms of true right, true left. I haven't made true left right. True lefts will be made when we're at polish stage. And at polish stage, I will make normal maps. Let me explain a bit of what I mean. So version 1, 35 by 35 pixels. Version 2, 70 by 70. Version 3, 140 by 140 pre-polish. Version 4, polished, still 140 by 140, but has normal maps, has true lefts, has cleanse. You know, everything will be cleansed to like production ready, release ready sort of mind. This is version 3, hence why there's no lefts and there's no normal maps. No point doing lefts because if I upgrade these in polished, then I'll have to remake all these. If I do the normal maps now, I'll have to remake all those. So you see where I'm coming from. I'm trying to mitigate the amount of work. But that's the left-right logic, normal maps and diffuse maps. Diffuse being texture. I have idle and talk on the top row. And blinking technically. Walk. 8 sprites walk. And then break off. And if they've got secondary walk, 8 sprites secondary walk. We've got run. Again, 8 and 8. 8 and 8. We've got shoot. We've got shoot actually includes shoot and aim. I rasterized it and I didn't. I was being lazy. I'd already done all the templates for 23. I've done 23 of these and I did not want to go around and unrasterize it and do write aim and shoot, or write more text and then rasterize it and merge it. So that's aim and shoot, as you see. Aim, shoot, reload. No one actually uses reload. You might be wondering why it looks all odd. This is because it's a template. So I've dumped in all these so then I can plug them in, you see, like that for the different things. So while I've copied and pasted this in as a template example of the male, the female, and like one of the guns, this isn't how they'd be placed. So reload, but no one actually uses reload. I decided against it. Death, but I haven't done deaths yet because deaths, I know how they're going to die, but I don't know visually how I want to portray it yet. So deaths will be done at a later date. And then we've got talking heads, but I'll talk about those later. So that's the template. If I show you like a functional working example, what's that? Here we go. We have idle and talk, top row, walk version 2. There's also idle and talk version 2. See, she's got the gun. Second, so like idle 1, idle 2, walk 1, walk 2, run 1, run 2, aim and shoot. No reload, no death yet. Talking heads. That, but I did it for all of them. So there's 20. Everyone you see here, I had to redesign. So 23. So there you go. Everyone you see in your picture right now, except from that little leg, which is a double up. There. Every single one had that done. Every single one had 8 sprites for walk, 8 sprites for run, if they have a walk or a run. All have a walk, some have a run, and then some have guns and all that. Right, next. Walk animations. So, yes, these. So, the walk animations, 8 sprites. If I play it, uh, where is it? Is it unlit? One sec. What's the button? Can't, normally can find the button. I can't seem to remember which one it is. Ah, no. But yeah. So walk. Um, yeah, there's not much to say really. Sorry, I had to cough. Um, different heights, as you can see, slightly different heights. Let me change the daft color because it's driving me mad. I can't change it to like. Oh, there we go. It's the F keys when you're in game mode. It's the Alt and 3, Alt and 4 when you're not. There we go. So lit, unlit, You see there's no detail because there's no normal maps. But yeah, drew all of these. Some of them have secondaries, as you could see, walk 1, walk 2 with Sarah. Walk 1 with Richard, so he's got a scar in his eye. And then walk 2 with Richard when he's got his enforcement rifle, like a custom one. None of these are enemies. Some of them die, some of them change, some of them live, but none of them in this current form are enemies. At this stage, they are all non-playable characters. Um, I'm going to be doing a side game, a bit like Mercenaries or something, or like like an alternate, like from someone else's perspective during the situation, like a mini game, and that'll be with, I'm thinking with Sarah, the blonde. Yeah, but that's like after I made the game. So that's walk. Talking heads, right? Let's talk talking heads. Let's get and let's get Mick. Let's pick Richard. Actually, talking heads, talking heads, talking heads. We want Richard. 3.3 raw. Right, bottom left on all of them. I've already got the interaction widget where you talk and two heads pop up. I made that. So these are made in place but not extracted yet for that, almost like a version 2. Best way to describe it is Metal Gear Solid when they talk to you on the codec, like classic Metal Gear Solid. Um, so we've got like standard face talk, like like a judging face again, judging face talk, happy talk, sad, sad talk, and then well, that's kind of like sad as well. They're not like primary emotions, so like not blue, yellow, red, like primary colors. They're not just like basic happy, sad. I shouldn't have called them that. They're like it's like an amalgamation. So as you can see, like this one is more like disgust. This one's more like shock because you see the eyebrows go up. Because you could argue, well, that's happy, but that's happy. I know you could like happy talk and happy and not, and then you could be like, well, isn't that sad? And technically, no. So there's a nuance to it. If I just, I'll get up the names. But yeah, essentially, there's just straight face talk, a straight face and talk version of sad, a straight face and talk version of happy, and like of one of disgust. There we go. Let me scroll in. So yeah, like idle, talk, angry, happy, scared, sad, lost. So you see, it's like technically not. I didn't write disgust today, but you could kind of see what I'm trying to go for. So there's nuance in it. Like everyone's facial expressions are different. I could have done 50 different heads, but like this isn't like a polished version. This is just getting something like again version 3 pre-polish enough to get it good enough to get to the next thing, to make that good enough, to make everything good enough, to then make everything version 4 perfect or as good as I can. So that's talking heads. They're not extracted, but I do have the code there to use it. Some have run, so the reason why. Apologies for the main character sprites. The main character sprites haven't been updated. So all these runs, all these walks you're seeing, this is fresh with like the best capability I can do right now while trying to do it at a pre-polished version 3 out of 4 possible versions. Meanwhile, the protagonist stuff, like I didn't even come up with a proper walk or run cycle for the protagonist. The run looking weird like that is more to do with the timings. There is actually extra sprites, but still, protagonist sprites don't look as good compared to the NPCs, do they? And that's the reason. So not everyone runs. Well, originally I was like, why don't I make 23 idols, uh, 23 idols, 23 walks, 23 runs. I was like, wait a minute. Most of these people you never even see him run. What's the point of me making all this stuff to just not? You see, you understand, like, it's taken me like 6 weeks to come up with a templatized walk cycle, male and female, run cycle, male and female, aim and shoot, overhaul it, create talking heads for all of them. It'll be adding like an extra 4 weeks, and no one's gonna see Dylan run white t-shirt. No one's gonna see him run. He doesn't run. He's not in the game to run. He might run in your mind, but yeah, just like Forrest in Resident Evil, the original, he doesn't run. Even when he does run in the director's cut, he's dead. So you see, like, they wouldn't make a normal Forest model and a normal run animation for the normal Forest model because he's just dead. So that sort of logic, mitigating the amount of extra work. So they're the runs. Um, I won't load it up again because I have to run really far. Actually, no. Why don't I stop being lazy and just drag it over? So next is aim. Oh, again, aim being slightly different. The aims I've made, the masculine ones, so these three, um, I will incorporate into the protagonist. So they've got like handgun aim, submachine gun aim, enforcement rifle aim, and yeah, same again. Just play it quickly. So same again. You might be wondering what I'm doing there. It's orthographic camera. Orthographic camera. I created a function to scroll in, scroll out. It's a bit choppy. It's not smooth. But then if I press the hash key, it goes to perspective camera. So it's not an inbuilt thing. I added it into the game. So you can have two different ways of playing the game. And then we've got shoot. So again, using the shoot, I made it for these characters and I will replicate it. I will port it over to the protagonist. So all these runs, these idles, these walk, these runs, these aims and shoots, there's a bunch of tasks to get what I've learned, upgrade the protagonist sprites, and that's that's that. That's this branch. I haven't added these. Um, I've done the drawings and I put the drawings into animations, but I haven't put these new animations into the current master NPC blueprint. These are animations waiting to be plugged in. They're waiting to be plugged in when I do the animation blueprint. And further up, I do the multi-directional. So this is the part of the video where I just talk about future stuff, like a wrap up of the future. So now, let me drag that out a bit. So I've done NPCs. Same now for the enemies. Um, yeah. Then so the enemies is the branch I'm on right now. You look at the top, 2.4.1. That's when it starts. So August, it'll finish in September, probably late September. Then the animation blueprints for NPCs and enemies. Then port over the NPC animations, all these better ones, to the protagonist. New sound effects, yeah, like I can make them. It's just one man. I've only got so much to do. I've got a full-time job, so I have to chunk it. None of this stuff is impossible. This was already there before, so migrating things. That was already there before, so creating the puzzles, breathing life into the game. Interaction widget version 2, plug that in. There, that is using the new token heads and create some token sequences related to the game, not just testing, but like protagonist, prologue token sequences, so I can, you know, I can just start making the game in earnest, um, story in earnest. Multi-directional sequences, so that's like version 4. Left rights, true lefts, true rights, normal maps. Well, true lefts, true rights, then create the normal maps. The normal maps will have the same name and they will just plug in nice and neat, don't need to do anything. And then distinct deaths for John. Um, Always a bit like Resident Evil, but also a bit like the Alien Trilogy PS1 game where there's different ways you could die for the main character. But distinct death enemies, I was thinking yesterday that, well, there's death and then there's true death. So Resident Evil 1 remake where the zombies can sometimes get back up. So it goes down the first time, and you think it's dead, but then you got to set it on fire, otherwise it might become a crimson head. So like true death, also true death being like shooting the head off. So yeah, there's death, there's true death, but then how are they truly going to die? Are you going to shoot the head off? So is it like a kinetic? I call it like kinetics or bullets. So it's going to be like a kinetic death. Is it going to be an energy death? So like the laser and heat rifle later on. Oh yeah, or fire like flamethrower. I think I call it flamer. Maybe might call it something else. I can't remember the name. Explosive death. So like grenades, grenade launcher. You see, so how are they gonna die? Is it melee as well? So yeah, because there's only ever gonna be one death, like one fake death. But true death, head could come off, set them on fire, blow the head off, slice the head off. Like all these different animations I need to do. Um, if you want, just look at what I'm doing right now in the future, or in the branch I'm actually working on right now. Because I finish it, I record this, but then I jump straight back into the next one. So just like the NPC template, I am working on an enemy template. Enemies have right uninjured, right injured, left uninjured, left injured. That's because I copied it across, because I see I've copied. That's why they're not level, because the rasterized thing, right, to add in extra text. We've got idle, we've got roam, so can't find the enemy, just searching. It's technically like walk, it's like random walk. Hunt, so they've seen the enemy, they're going towards it, or they've heard the enemy, they're going towards it, or they've touched the enemy. Yeah, because I've got sight, hearing, sight, sound, touch, damage. So a bit like if someone shooting at you from the right, you'd I don't know. You should be able to figure out it's coming from the right. You can do on games, can't you? Like hit detection. And I think that's it. I was thinking about doing like group think, like hive think. There is an extra sense in Unreal for like team or like team-based thinking, but I haven't got that yet, I don't think. So yeah, sight, sound, touch, damage. They're the four the enemies have. So that would come under hunt if you triggered one of those senses, essentially. Um, I do have a video a bit back called like AI Sense, like V1. I create it all. It's really cool. And you saw further up on that list there was AI Sense like V3 or V2. Either way, the next iteration. So that's hunt. Attack is, well, just attack. uninjured to injured. So 100% health. First thing comes to mind is Doom. You know the little faces on the classic Doom. He's got full health, hasn't he? And then he starts getting injured. The moment he gets injured, like his animation changes, and then when he's about to die, his animation changes. I was thinking about doing badly injured, but I don't think I will. I think I'll just do uninjured and injured. So full health enemy, less than full health enemy. If less than full health, if less than 100% health or full health, do injured sprites. That's how I'll code it. That's how I have coded it actually. Feign death, so fake death. Then I've got on the injured side, which I realise these are lefts and rights, so I'm gonna have to redesign this template because I made it quick last night. Resurrection, so they come back to life. Like a 2-3% chance. I've made a few branches ago. I really liked it actually. Resurrection's pretty cool, and it remembers. So you could leave the room, come back, and that's when the resurrection chance happens. Just like Crimson Heads in like remake. I was real pleased. I figured it out. True death. So again, you might be thinking, well, if it's 8 sprites apiece, how are you going to do 4 different true deaths, Nick? Good point. This is why I need to change it. So I'm gonna create the sprites here. I'm gonna have to change the template essentially. Upgrade it. I'll do that today. But um that's it. That's this branch. I realised I've had the camera on the whole time, so hopefully it hasn't blocked anything. The next one you'll be seeing it'll be this again, but swap the NPCs for the enemies. There's 23 NPCs, and I'd never done an effective 2D walk animation or run animation. Now I know what I need to do. I have the building blocks to do the enemy one quicker. So while this branch I've just completed, the NPC one took me maybe like 6 weeks. I think it was about 6 weeks. This one might take me like 4 or 5 because the just on a numbers game, there's less enemies. Um, there will be more to draw, but we'll see. We'll see how we get on. Thank you for your time, and yeah, I'll upload this in a bit.